Hi, welcome to my channel. This sequence is a Vinyasa flow, 30 minutes, so we're going to work our way through some sun salutations, some standing postures and some seated postures. So if you'd like to come to start in child's pose on your mat. So taking a wide-legged child's pose, so bringing the knees out as wide as the mat, bringing the big toes together, and then we're going to allow the heart center to come down towards the earth. Extending the arms out in front of you and take the forehead down to the mat. So you can close the eyes here and start with a deep breath in through the nose and out of the mouth. And again, deep breath in and out. One more round. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. And then bringing the lips softly together and breathing in and out through the nostrils for the practice. So take a moment to settle here. Maybe have a little wiggle through the hips. Reach the arms out a bit further in front, spreading the fingers wide and allowing the palms of the hands to ground you down. And a few more moments here, feeling that length through the spine, that stretch through the front of the ankles. And then beginning to work your hands over to the left side, so taking them off of the mat and placing the right hand on top of the left and keeping the heart coming down towards the earth, so you can start to feel that deep stretch all the way through the right side of the body. Breathe in here, inhale and exhale. Walk your hands back over to the center and then over to the right side, placing the left hand on top of the right. And this time breathing deep into that space you're creating all the way through the left side of the body. So that space between each of the ribs, anchoring back down through the left hip, and breathe in here. And come back to center. And start to find your way up onto hands and knees. So we're going to take a few rounds of cat and cow here to warm up through the spine, keeping the fingers spread wide. Inhale, lifting the heart, taking the gaze up. Exhale, rounding through the spine, drop the head down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, lift to create space in the chest. Exhale, round. Come back to a long spine. We're going to tuck the toes under, maybe work the hands a little bit further in front of you and start to lift up into downward facing dog. Okay, and work some space into the back of the legs here by pedaling the heels up and down. So you can take your time here, you don't have to rush. Keeping that breath steady, flowing in and out of the nostrils. And then come into stillness, so rooting down through the heels of the feet. It doesn't matter if there's a gap between your foot and the mat, that's fine. And looking towards the belly, pushing the floor away from you, lifting up through the shoulders. And then take the gaze between your hands. We're going to step the feet towards the top of the mat so you can walk them or take one step. Good. And then bring the hands to the elbows. You're going to fold in ragdoll, so letting the head be heavy. And maybe have a little sway from side to side if that feels good for you, or maybe you just want to stay in the center, and that's fine too. And then take the hands down towards the floor, ground down into the feet, and then roll yourself all the way up into standing. take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift the heart up towards the sky. Take the gaze up. Create some space all the way through the heart chakra here. And then release, bringing the hands to your side. So we'll do a couple of rounds of sun salutations, Surya Namaskar A. So bring the big toes together, take a gap through the heels, and the arms down next to the body. Okay, we're going to inhale, take the palms together, reach them up. Exhale, start to fold. You can bend the knees here. Inhale, come onto fingertips or hands to the shins. Exhale, hands to the floor, stepping back into a plank. Okay, so knees down to modify. Keep the elbows to the body as you lower. Inhale, start to lift into low cobra or high cobra. Exhale, tucking the toes, find the knees, downward facing dog. So spread the fingers wide. And again, have the feet about 2 fists apart, roughly. See how it feels. Okay, you can adjust to what feels good for you. And then take that soft bend in the knees if it's feeling a bit tight in the hamstrings. And breathe here. One more breath. Gaze between your hands. Take that step or walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, fingers or shins. Exhale, fold and release the head. Take the palms together. Inhale up. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, gaze with your thumbs as you reach high. Exhale, folding through the heart. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to plank, stepping it back, shoulders over the wrist, keep the knees to the floor, elbows to ribs as you lower. Inhale, low cobra or high cobra. Exhale, find the knees, tap the toes, downward dog. So checking in with the feet and the hands again, spreading the fingers, and then start to lengthen through the spine. Take the tailbone up towards the ceiling. If the legs are feeling fairly straight, you can start to lift the knee up through the knees to engage the thighs a bit more. One more breath. Gaze between the hands, step or walk to the top. Inhaling, half lift, space in the chest. Exhale, fold. Palms together, inhale up. Exhale, back to Tadasana. We're going to step the right leg back, finding Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So take the heel of the front foot in line with the arch of the back foot. Bend through that front knee and take the arms out long. Okay, drop down through the shoulders and gaze down to the left hand. Okay, you can have the fingers spread wide. And that bend, keeping it in the front knee so the knee comes over the ankle. Rooting down through both of the feet while lifting up through the spine. Taking the right hand down the back of the leg, guiding that left hand up towards the sky. Maybe take it a bit more over towards the back of the mat if that feels good. Maintaining that bend in the front knee. Breathe into this space all the way through the left side of the body. One more. Coming back up into your Warrior 2, and we're going to bring the forearm onto the thigh with the palm facing up. If you wish to bring your hand down to the inside of the foot or take a bind, the option's there for you to do that as well. Guide the right hand over the top of the head, looking up towards the sky, having that space all the way through the ribs again, through the front of the chest as you roll that right shoulder back. One more. Gaze down to the big toe, press into the feet, and we're going to find our way back up into Warrior 2. Good. Lengthen this left leg and then shift the feet so the heels become in line with one another. Inhale towards the top of the mat. Exhale, release that hand down. So the hand could come to the inside of the leg, maybe towards the ankle. If you reach towards your toes, you can loop first 2 fingers around the big toe. Okay, Utthita Trikonasana. Again, breathe in that space into the chest. Gaze down to the big toe. Put a slight bend in that front knee as you ground, and then all the way back up. Good. Hands to the waist. Turn the feet to face the long edge of the mat. Okay. Inhale, space in the chest. Exhale, hinge your way forward and release the hands down to the floor. If you've got a block or you need a pillow or anything, place your hands onto that. And we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to hinge, dropping the crown of the head down towards the floor. Yeah, so the elbows are bending, drawing back through the legs, and breathe here. One more. Yeah, coming up halfway, bring the hands back to the waist, press into the feet, inhale, slowly up. Okay, we're going to turn the right foot towards the back of the mat, find warrior 2 on this side. Gaze down to the right hand as you lengthen all the way through. Maybe take a moment to lift the toes up, spread them out, ground back down. Good. So with the lower part of the body, we want this sense of grounding and lifting up with space through the top half of the body. Left hand glides down the back of the leg, reach up to the ceiling with the right hand, or taking it over to the back of the mat. Okay, that front knee bent. Breathe in here. Coming back up, find warrior 2. Now again, your option, either the forearm to rest onto the thigh, or take the hand down to the inside of the foot, or take a bind. Good. Palm facing up, so receiving that energy into that right palm. Guide your eyes down to the big toe, press into the feet, inhale, warrior 2. Lengthen the front leg, Utthita Trikonasana, wrap the heels in line, inhale to the back of the mat, exhale, release. So again, take the hand wherever feels comfortable on this side. Keeping the left shoulder rolled back, chest open, breathe in here. Gaze down to the big toe, bend that front knee, press into the feet, inhaling back up. Good, turn the feet to the long edge of the mat. Hands to the waist, inhale. Exhale, fold in. And this time take the right hand to the floor in front of you, in the center. And you're going to take a twist, extending the left arm towards the ceiling. Yeah, release, take the left hand down to the center, reach up with the right hand, okay? Pressing down into the feet, lifting up through the tailbone. Yeah, take the right hand down, okay? We're going to start to turn towards the top of the mat, so start to walk the hands around to the top, pivot on the feet, stepping it back into plank. Okay, shoulders over the wrist. You can do chaturanga here or modify with the knees down. Okay, keep the elbows to the ribs. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog by lifting the knees. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Good, take a round of breath here. Gaze between the hands. And we're going to step the feet through to the top of the mat and then come down into seated. Good, extend the legs away from you. We're going to take Paschimottanasana, so take any flesh from the sit bones. Okay, toes up, feet flexed. Inhale. Exhale towards the feet. Okay, so hands can come wherever. You can use a strap if you want to. So shins, strap, or hands to the outside edges of the feet. Okay, taking a breath in. Okay, draw the shoulders back, still having that emphasis on this space in the heart center and the chest, yeah? Keeping the breath, allowing the breath to flow all the way through this open space. Good. Inhale, coming back up, and we're going to take a bent right knee here. Okay, so that foot comes flat to the floor. Sweep the right hand behind you. Okay, either hug the leg in as you twist, or you can take elbow to the outside of the knee. Option for a bind here as well if you want to. Okay, left leg stays active. Gaze towards the back of the mat. Make your way back round to center. We're going to drop the knee out to the side, Janusasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in. Again, the hands come wherever is in your practice today. Okay, that's the thing. Each time we get on the mat, it's different. It doesn't have to be the same. You don't have to do the same modification every time. You can work with what your body's feeling in this moment. Okay, start to build on that intuition about how you feel. Coming back up, bring the knee up. We're going to take boat pose, Navasana. So bending the knees. You can take your hands behind the knees here, lifting up through the chest. Or maybe start to bring one leg up at a time. Maybe you want to bring both legs up. And we're going to take the arms out to the side. So keep the chest lifted. Gaze to the big toes. Remembering that breathing, find the flow of the breath. It's only through the flow of the breath that we start to progress through our practice. Okay, if we hold on to it, we hold on to tension in our body, we hold on to emotions, we're trying to keep all these emotions in, we want to breathe, we want to let it all go. Yeah, cross over the ankles, we're going to come up onto the hands, and then back into a plank. Good, lower, so chaturanga or knees down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Good. Gaze between the hands. Make your way back through into seated. Good. Extending the legs out. Okay. Bring the left leg in. Okay. Bending that knee. Then sweep the left hand behind you. Either hug the knee in or elbow to the outside. Okay. Keep the right leg extended with the foot up towards the ceiling. Nice twist here to detox all the internal organs here. Make your way back around towards the top of the mat. Drop the knee out. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Find length in the back of the leg. If you need that prop underneath, you can always shove a pillow or a block under it. And make your way back up. Good. Bring the knee up. We're going to come back into Navasana. So bend of the knees or take your modification. Good. If you want to, you can always start to extend the legs as well. See how you feel. Good. Keeping the chest lifted. We don't want to start to sink ourselves down towards the mat. We want to keep that engagement through the abdominals and through the top of the thighs. Okay, build that fire within the belly. Working that, that real fire, that heat that you can burn. It comes with a bit more confidence. It gives you a little bit more strength. Yeah, we're going to cross over the ankles, back into plank. Good. Lower, knees down or chaturanga. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Good. Look between the hands. We're going to step the feet back through and come into seated. Good. So keeping the knees bent, feet about hip width apart. We're going to start to lower down onto the back. Okay, so having the knees bent. And bring the arms down next to the body, palms facing down. And inhale, press into the feet, start to lift the hips. Okay, option to roll the shoulders under and interlace the fingers. Okay, you don't have to, you can keep the palms down on the floor. Okay, and notice all that space you now have in the front of the body to breathe. Yeah, especially deep down in the belly now, we've got so much space for the belly to move. You know, the last thing we want to do is keep tension in the belly. It needs to be soft to allow that movement. And release. Take the spine down first. Start to tilt the pelvis. And then lower down. Good. Take a little knock from side to side. Tick-tock the legs. Good. And you can do that again. Or if you've got wheel pose in your practice, you can take wheel pose by bringing the hands over by the side of the ears and then pressing into the hands and feet as you lift up. Okay, otherwise, stay in with the modification we just practiced. Okay, inhale, lifting the hips. Okay, check in with your toes here. Are your toes starting to lift? Are you starting to roll on to the edges of your feet? Try and keep all of the foot flat and grounding down. Good, and start to lower, taking the hips down. Good, take a little tick-tock from side to side again. Okay, so we'll do a little inversion. So you can either come to find a wall wherever you are and rest your legs up against it. If you have a strap, you can bring the strap around the soles of the feet as you lay here. If you have shoulder stand in your practice, you can take shoulder stand, okay? So, see where you're at today. If your neck or your back or anything is feeling a bit tense, if it's the time of the month with your period, then I would avoid shoulder stand or anything like that. Just stick with legs against the wall or your feet around a strap, okay? So if you're taking shoulder stand, feet come overhead and then the hands come to the lower back. Okay, you're going to lift the legs up towards the ceiling, okay? So allow the hands to stay on the lower back, supporting. Gaze into the big toes here. Few more breaths. Good, and start to bend the knees, bring them down towards the forehead, and if you're in shoulder stand, you can start to lower yourself all the way down. If you're in legs against the wall, you can just come back onto your mat, back to your space. Good, now reach the arms overhead, extend the legs away from you, take a full body stretch here. Reach through the fingers, through the toes, and then back in. Good, hug the knees in towards your chest. Let's have a little rock from side to side here. Ease out the lower back, have the shoulders grounded. Good. Alright, now we're going to wrap the legs around each other. So take the left leg and wrap it around the right leg, okay? If this isn't feeling great for you today, then just keep the legs as they are. We're going to enter into a spinal twist. So you can just keep the legs bent and drop them over to the right side, or you can wrap the legs around each other as we go over towards the right. Okay, we want to keep the shoulders as grounded to the mat as you can, so prop underneath with a pillow or anything if you want to. And we're going to turn the head to the left. And take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, see if you can find that softness in the body. Okay, notice if you're holding on to any tension anywhere. See if you can release and soften a little bit more. Come back up to center. Unravel the legs if they're twisted. We're going to go to the left. So again, your option of either dropping the knees over or wrapping the legs around before we go over to the left. Okay, and this time taking the gaze over towards the right. You can close the eyes as well if you want to. Starting to wind down practice now, so it can be quite a nice way to start to relax, block out your surroundings. Yeah, coming back to center. Good, unravel the legs, bring them back in towards the chest, have a little rock from side to side. Good. And take Supta Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet together and the knees dropping out to each side. Okay, hands can be wherever you want them to be. They can be on the floor, maybe resting on top of the thighs, maybe hands to belly can feel quite nice. And we're going to close the eyes. So take a long breath in through the nose, and we're going to sigh it all out. And again, breathing in, let it go. And take one more long breath in, let it all out. And give yourself a moment to adjust if you need to. Now drop down into the body, okay? Drop down into that heaviness that allows you to be fully supported by the earth underneath. Feeling really safe and supported where you are, so that you have the safety to allow the breath to slow down. And just find its natural rhythm now. Find a softness through the face, through the jaw. Allow that space between the eyebrows to soften. And see if you can allow the body to sink down a little bit more. Check in with the shoulders. Are you still holding them towards the ears? Can you maybe release here? And then begin to bring the knees back up towards one another. Okay. Let's pause here just for a moment, feeling that grounding underneath the soles of the feet, the length of the spine, down on the mat. And we're going to roll onto the right side and keep the eyes closed, and then come up into seated. So finding a comfortable seated position here, and bring both hands onto the heart. Taking a breath in and out. And underneath the hands, notice that space that you've created through your practice today. That space of opening up through the top of the body, through the heart, opening the chakras all the way through. And notice that grounding underneath your sit bones, that grounding through Muladhara, the root chakra. And set an intention to take this grounding and this space with you through the rest of your day. Take the palms together, bow in the head, Namaste. And opening the eyes. Excuse me, I went a bit croaky towards the end there. Oh, right. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed that flow. If you did, then please feel free to like the video, subscribe for subscribe for more videos on my channel. Yeah, if you've got any comments or you've got any queries, then feel free to drop me a message. Thank you very much.